This is the MTPredictor weekly market update for February 8th of 2015. So we were off last week, or I was off last week, watching the Super Bowl, and fortunately the Patriots won. It took the last up to the last 20 seconds to determine the outcome of that game, but a great game there for those that saw that. You can, I guess, watch the replays of the Super Bowl. Definitely. Many saying it's one of the best Super Bowls in modern memory here. So let's take a look first at the NQ, because when we left off, remember the NQ had given a buy signal here. This is the daily chart of the NQ, and the larger degree trend is up as determined by the strong trend filter here. So I was long the NASDAQ. You can see it made this nice initial move, push up. Here's the eventual target here, but then reached the 100% initial risk line, then pulled back to the entry. I stopped there at break even. The initial stop at 40.71 and a quarter is not reached, so it's still a live trade there, and we'll see how this unfolds. But if we look at also in the Dow here, also gave a long signal with the larger degree trend. Now remember, we had the sell signal here is actually against larger degree trend, but we pay attention in this particular case because each time we get one of those decision points, it's telling us it's a potential turning point in a market, so or potential market top or bottom. But here we had a buy signal here in the Dow. Put the analysis on, you can see the target here would be basically the decision point off of the last swing high, so we'd be making a new all-time high if this does reach the target. Now we have come into, when we have this ABC pattern here, we look to the wave B swing here and we take a decision point, because this gives us a level of minor resistance here. So you can see on Friday the Dow ran into that minor resistance from the daily chart here, and basically began to sell off on Friday before it bounced in the last few minutes of trading there. But so we're going to watch this. I think this week, if we take out the low of the red seller's candle here in the Dow, which is 17,074, I'm sorry, 17,704. Then chances are this will get at least some fall through to the downside. If I break it up to the upside here, we still have resistance all the way basically up to 18,000, a nice round number there, resistance. But if that gets taken out, then chances are it's a high probability we'll reach the target there, just about 18,200 in the Dow there. And let's take a look at, I'll bring up gold here since I've got the chart up here. I was long gold. I took profits there. You can see the 5-wave pattern down into the weekly support here. So this is the daily chart, came into the weekly, which is our larger degree support level. In other words, it's an area where we anticipate gold would put an important low in, and the trend may turn from down to up, or at least correct back to the wave 4 DP. So we take a decision point off of wave 4. I actually had a target beyond. When we look at, maybe we can look at that in the GLD here. So the buy signal here was basically long 115 in the GLD, and the target I was using was this typical wave 3 because I deemed this an important low. This is a wave 1 in the first ABC correction in wave 2, so I projected wave 3, and you can see they did take out the wave 4 DP here that we projected, but didn't quite reach the typical wave 3 target. Now eventually it may rally. I do think gold has more upside, but in the meantime here it came back. The STF was showing strength, meaning there was more upside ahead, and I got stopped out here on the ATR trailing stop. And and just took the profit there. Alright, if I look at the SLV, basically the same pattern, 5 waves down, but this one here did correct back to the wave 4 DP. I did take profits in SLV at 1758, but I also have initiated a credit a sell call spread on the short the 18, long the 21 call spread, just to take some income because we hit this level. So I anticipated that we would correct, move down from here. Also long a put in the SLV, though I do still think those will expire at the end of this month here. But I do anticipate with the QE that's scheduled to start in Europe in March that that will at least maybe put a floor in on GLD SLV, gold and silver. And you can see this pullback here could be a potential wave 4. We'll see if we hold in this area. But anyway, so an area to take profits there, and we'll see how those play out. Let's take a look at oil. Here's the monthly chart of the USO, the oil ETF, and you can see just there was a standard trade set up here, this TS3. If we just put the analysis on there, you can see the target all the way, it's actually here below 0, so obviously we won't use that as a target, but we can use this prior swing low, this major swing low, and we'll take a decision point off of that level. And you can see we've come into this larger degree support area from the monthly chart. So this is an area where we would anticipate that oil will find support. Now we closed with a blue buyer's candle here. We had another blue buyer's candle or a higher low here as well last month. Or I'm sorry, this is this month's candle. This was last month's here on the low. So we'll see if we get any type of rally out of this level, see if they can break above. In this case, it'll be that 20, we'll call it 2031. If they can get to 2031, then this may get some more follow through. Then we'll see if the rally is short-lived and it rolls over and we break the lows there, then chances are we're going to be heading for more downside there. But right now we'll see if this level holds. It's an area where we anticipate we may get a rally or some support coming out of this level here. And then let's look at the dollar index. This also is it's the monthly chart. Let's just go to the weekly chart here. And you can see we've gone well beyond wave 3. We have strength on the STF. We did get we were anticipating, we should get some type of correction here. I just want to go to the daily chart. Here's the wave 4 on the daily chart here. Sits just below, is at 92, 97. So we'll see. Had some strength on the STF on most of this pullback. It's come off it. So we'll see. Maybe we did anticipate the correction here, maybe shallow, similar to what we had between 1 and 2. But we can project the wave 5 here. We've got a new pattern here, so let's project the wave 5 target here. Just see where that next target comes in. So just above 97 here is a minimum wave 5 target. So I still think there's going to be more upside maybe when this pullback is finished in the dollar. I do think that with all the QE that may be happening in Japan, will be happening in Europe, that will allow the dollar to continue to move higher eventually here. I think it's going to be looked at this year as kind of that safe haven asset. I think it may be a situation where even though the dollar is moving higher, we may see gold and silver eventually start to push back up again, um, as it's maybe looked at as a safe haven asset this year. Um, and then we'll have to see what our central bank here does. They've been talking about raising interest rates. Whether or not they're going to be able to do that, or even if they do, if they raise interest rates by 25 basis points, it really means nothing. Um, so they may, be able to do something like that. But the bond market, in fact, we should just look at bonds. It's telling us a different story. Let me pull up the bonds here. Where's my bond? So on the daily chart, we had this nice 5-wave pattern up, reached the minimum wave 5 target. Now we've corrected just about to the wave 4 DP, this which is where we anticipate the correction should be to at a minimum. After the 5 waves, we get a correction back to this level. This should act as support. We get bonds down maybe just a little further into this level. We anticipate that should act as some support, and the trend, which was up prior, may continue up. If it does, like I said, that's the bonds are up, the interest rates are going to continue to move lower, and so that's going to speak volumes rather than what the Fed, if it raises interest rates or not. Like I said, if they raise it by 25 basis points, it really won't mean anything. Watch the bond market. That's the smartest traders in the world are said, most of your institutions are trading bonds. So I think that's going to be a more reliable indicator than the Fed. On the weekly chart, also, we had this 5-wave pattern up here. So again, we're anticipating a correction also in this larger degree resistance level here. We'll see if the daily support holds, then chances are we'll not obviously reach the weekly wave 4 DP. But if it gives way, then we may see some more downside. But the STF on the weekly chart is showing strength to the upside. So I think this correction may be into the daily DP, which will be at this level here. Let's see if it finds support there and tries to make another run through this level. Alright, we'll go ahead and leave it there, and we'll be back, take a look and see what sets up for next week.